Welcome to the Apex, everyone. I'm Zell, and today we're doing a camera down, and I'll explain why. This past Friday, I had to go to the hospital. They thought I was having some kind of heart issue or stroke issue or blood clot issue or something crazy like that. Got me in their fastest hospital visit I have ever had, should say ER visit. I'm pretty sure from the time I hit the desk to the time my butt was back in my car was less than 20 minutes, so that is amazing. And what I found out was I didn't have any of those awful conditions that could, kill you, mess with your head, any of those sorts of things. What I have is a case of Bell's palsy. Now, Bell's palsy basically means that one side of your face is taking a break. It's, they say, kind of paralyzed. I don't know if paralyzed is really the right way to say it. My face just isn't moving the way that I would like it to, or that my brain is telling it to. And I was going to do the video face in today, but part of my face is trying to come back alive, and in doing that, as you've noticed, my speech is a little bit slurred, and my right eye is watering like a waterfall. So I didn't figure you guys wanted to watch that. It might be funny for a minute or two, but it's not going to be great for 10 or 15 minutes. So we're going to do this camera down. I'm going to show you some of the knives that will be coming up on the channel and some other things that we've done here recently. So first off, before we jump into the news, we have the Eschatons that are available at GP Knives and Blade HQ now. And I have a teardown video that I'm going to edit up and get out there for you guys. And I am going to try to carry one of these for a few days and really see how it works for EDC. There's a lot of, well, that ain't a great EDC knife. Well, I don't know for sure. I mean, it does have kind of a wide, choppy type bevel down there, but it may not be as bad as people are thinking. This is a ZT0452 that we have customized here at Todd Knife and Tool. We've got a big titanium pivot in it. In fact, we took all of the stainless out except for the pivot barrel itself, and it's actually a different pivot barrel in there, and put titanium screws all the way through the knife. We left the pocket clip because Seth and I both like that pocket clip, though I may take that one and blast it and stonewash it, I'm not sure. But all titanium screws throughout the knife, and of course anodized it, and it needs to be Windexed. You can see where my skin oils are turning it odd colors there from the bronze or kind of a green gold that it was. And we cut our own custom backspacer for it. And anyhow, let's get to the news. And I'll get some other knives that we're going to be seeing sometime soon on the channel up here as we go along. Alright, from the blog and print world, we have the Kershaw Agile review over at Knife Informer. And the Kershaw Agile is a cool little knife. It is a smaller version of the MP1 from Hinderer Knives. In, Kershaw's normal thing, Chinese-made 8CR13 MOV. But still kind of a neat little knife. I wish they'd upgrade the steel for the entire Kershaw line, because they're doing a lot better with their quality control. If they would upgrade the steel just a little bit, that Kershaw line would be pretty amazing right now. And moving on along, we have from BladeReviews.com the Kizer Gemini Lefty review. And if you're not a lefty, go read the review anyhow. Gentleman over there at KnifeReviews.com has some insight into some other issues that are included in that write-up that you may want to read. And the Gemini is a cool little knife, whether it's a lefty or a righty. Now, you guys know how I feel about actual left-handed lock bar knives. In fact, the way I feel about them is if somebody out there needs a small Shabazz 21 in Singo dual thumb lug, get a hold of me. Once I did my little experiment with it, I really haven't carried it much, and I'll make you a great deal on this guy. Anyhow, moving on along from Knife News, we have Queen Cutlery closing its doors after 90 years in business. And that's a bit misleading. I don't think Queen is actually shutting down completely, but they are closing one of their factories. or manufacturing plants, whatever you'd like to call it. And This is writing on the wall. If you are a knife company out there that's mired in the past and you are not moving forward, if you're not making stuff like I have on the table right here in front of me, and all you're doing is stuff that you've been making for 50 or 70 years, you may want to rethink what you're doing. You may want to move somewhat into the future. Bring us some new design. Talk to some of us YouTubers about design. You may want to bring in designers. You may want to just, I mean, come on guys, just look at the stuff that's out there and get your own designers on it. Because you really don't need our outside help from anybody. You've got the people there to do it. But let's not see the rest of these companies turn into what is happening with Queen and what has happened with some other companies in the past few years. Keep your traditional stuff, but let's work on having some more modern stuff to go with it to keep your business running. You have the tolerances, you have the ability. Go do it. Don't let all these companies that are laying on the table right now run away with the profits. Get your share. And speaking of that kind of stuff, Nemesis Knives unveils their second MAR private reserve folder. And this is something that, if you don't know a lot about Almar knives, it may be one that you have missed from the past, and it's not what you're going to expect. So you're going to want to go over and get a look at that one. And then we have to talk about the Canadian Border Service and their bureaucracy taking over the law. And I want to talk for just a moment on this, so hold on, speed up for the next 2 minutes if you don't want to hear it, whatever. And I'll try not to slur too badly. You have a set of laws in Canada, and the knives on the table here, as far as I know, none of these knives are against the law most places in Canada. So what you have is the Border Patrol Service, or whatever they call themselves, Border Service Agency. What you have is a bunch of bureaucrats, they're not elected officials, writing these guidances on what the border agents have to do. So you have bureaucrats telling you what you can and can't do, not the people you elected. So that's wrong, don't like that, and it's just silly. So this is a problem because now there are people that live in Canada, Kevin Cleary, Jake over Canadian Cutting Edge, and some others who I can't send knives to now. I can send them parts, but I can't send them a knife because now it's not going to get through the border agency, even though it's not illegal inside Canada. Ah, this is annoying. Kevin Cleary's got a video on it we'll talk about here in a minute. And Hawk Knives is about to drop the Mud Auto. That should be freaking awesome. You guys should get a look at that Mud Auto because, you know, it's not really a knife for me, and I'm not a big side-firing auto guy, but one in a mud configuration would just be freaking cool. And Knife News also has a roundup of the biggest knife shows of 2018, and I might see you there if you can make it out to any of them. And moving on to video, Nick Shabazz has his knife gripes number 48. Man, that is one griping dude, 48 of them, called Smooth Operator. And he also has a review of the Boker Nano Pocketknife. And that's kind of a weird little frickin' cilantro chopper thing. But, yeah, just go watch the review. Oh, sorry about that. Whack the camera. And finally, Ontario Knife Company has got the D2 Rat out. The Rat 2 in D2. And Slicy Dicey, Bladecenetered, and EDC Gear Reviews have covered it, and I've got all their videos linked down in the description. Because you might as well get as much information as you can on it while you're waiting for yours to show up, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for mine to show up, and we'll get a disassembly on it, and then that's a knife I'm going to put through its paces before we actually do a full review. There's going to be plenty of reviews out there over the next few weeks of people getting them. So I'll wait a little bit on mine and give you a I went out and used it review, more of a full deal on it. And then Bladecenetered. Oh man, he wow. he took it upon himself to test Kershaw's M390 in the Dividend. First off, guys, the M390 is some cutting stuff. Holds an edge for a very long time. I'm really, really happy that Bladecenetered did this, because I didn't want to, and because we need to know that Kershaw is getting the heat treat right on the steels, because Kershaw is, and Kai Industries ZT are a company that tend to have some issues with their heat treat. Well, I do, just go watch the video. Bladecenetered will tell you about it. And LuvThemKnives gets us with a full review of both of the Eschatons, the A and the B, the full titanium and the titanium and carbon fiber version. And Cedric and Ada Gear and Outdoors gives us the continuum of the Pocketknife price and quality. Pretty interesting video. And by the way, what we've got on the table right here, we have the array, which is now, should be available in the next handful of days at Blade HQ, GP Knives, etc. We have the Gnome and the Imp from Best Tech. These two are available right now at White Mountain Knives. And this knife breaks a bunch of reviewer rules, but man, it's a cool knife. This one doesn't break as many rules, and it's still a really cool knife. And man, it's dirty too. Wow. And here we have the Best Tech Starfighter. This has been a really big surprise to me. Best Tech sent it to me because I requested, and I thought it was just going to be an exercise in some really cool milling and some really cool anodization, which it is, and it needs to be cleaned up with some Windex too. But whenever we get into the review on this knife, this may be a knife that you really, really want to get your hands on. There's some very thoughtful design here, and some things that I did not see whenever I first picked up the knife. And I'm trying to get them all processed and get ready to do a review and a teardown for you. And I will have that soon. But this was a really big surprise to me. The Starfighter from Best Tech. And we also have, this is an Osborne. I don't remember. You guys have to tell me which model this is. I'm going to have to look it up. You know, your reviewer should look up the knife before he puts it on the table, right? Well, I didn't. And we're going to tear this guy apart, and we're going to get a review of him too. And we also have these swordfish. Now, I know I've already went over the swordfish, but we've got some more information we need to talk about on these Best Tech D2 knives that we'll be getting into in the next several days. And moving on along, we have also from Cedric and Ada Outdoors, the Kizer V3 Vigor, a great basic worker blade. You know, and it's a really neat blade. And old Pete over there will give you the overview of it. And once he's done, be sure to go get some knife therapy from Staza23. He has a look at the Zephyr from We Knives. That thing is gorgeous. You're going to want to see it. And he also has his thoughts on the array. This is another one of those knives that I am really, really liking from We. Now, if you read my review or watch my review, and Staza's too, I believe, there are a couple of minor issues, but nothing to keep you from purchasing the knife for most people. Great, great knife. And Dr. Frunky injects us with the Gavco Knives Spinner Console Parison CKF and FFKW collaborations. I think I got that all right. Anyhow, Dr. Frunky's got a good one there. And Kevin Cleary closes us out with the Canadian Knife Law CITT prohibits more knives. That's getting right back to what we talked about earlier. And it's an unfortunate thing. I'm really not very happy about it. But, you know, we have to deal with what we have to deal with. And guys, with this little medical deal, I'm going to try to get a bunch of these shivers ready to go in the next week or so, and I'm just going to put out a mass email for you guys because I don't have time and I'm not feeling well enough to do them the way I intended, and I really need to get these guys out of here and into your hands because I got stuff I want to make, and I'm spending all my time goofing with these things. I got to get them out of here so we can make some more new and cool stuff. Anyhow, you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully my face will be working much better next week, and I'll see you next time.